hospitality branding as an area of interest really goes back about 100 years. So when you think about the advent of multi-unit, even cross-national hotel branding, I can think of three distinct examples. So I can think of the Ritz in Paris. That was the first hotel that in a systematic way allowed other owners and operators to share its rights in different markets like London, like Madrid. I can think of the Statler Hotel in North America that began as the first company to really think about multi-unit management in a systematic way, creating brand standards. Statler is known to have said a room and a bath for $1.50. That was the oft-remembered one part of a wider set of brand standards that Statler insisted on when any hotel would have the name Statler on it. In Asia, Oberoi was one of the first hotels that really thought about multi-unit branding in a systematic way, and when they put the name Oberoi in multiple hotels, they were very careful about what that hotel has to have. Fast forward to about the 70s, when you really saw the advent of the first large multinational hotel brand. Hilton, Sheraton were some examples. I made a study of, for example, looking at hotel company annual reports. If you go back maybe 10 or 15 or 20 years, very rarely was the word brand mentioned, say even 20 years ago. As you begin to come closer to 2012, you start to see more and more companies managing their companies by managing their brands. In fact, brand management has now become job one for a lot of these companies, and the CEO's letter to shareholders often talks about the company in terms of a collection or portfolio of brands. I like to say differentiation equals premium and premium equals profit. And so part of the job of any brand manager today is to meaningfully, effectively, substantially differentiate a brand from its competitors in the customer's eyes, that's the end user, in the eyes of the owner, because a lot of these brands make a living franchising their brands to third-party owners, and so the owners have to realize a premium in putting their money with one brand as opposed to the other. Channels of distribution, where they want to create some affinity with a channel, they have to realize that brand A is better to deal with than brand B. In a general sense, brands think about differentiating themselves on two dimensions, and that's the rational dimension and the emotional dimension. So at the beginning of any brand differentiation life cycle, you think about rational branding. You know, our rooms are bigger, better location, maybe price is an issue. Today what we're finding is that because there's so much sameness between brands on some of these more specific rational criteria, that brands are beginning to create an emotional bond with their customers and use that as the basis for differentiation. So a little bit softer, a little bit more emotional. Lifestyle branding is a term that's often used, and that is we want to try to integrate ourselves with the lifestyle of our customers so that they feel that the brand is a natural extension of their other purchasing and experience behaviors. As each of the brands start to occupy smaller and smaller spaces, and as those spaces start to get crowded, it's a natural phenomena that what you'll see is either brands get phased out. So one example might be Holiday Inn Select. Holiday Inn decided that it has multiple brands, multiple brand extensions, and so they decided that it would serve them well to take a brand and phase it out. Or combination of brands that collapse and are creating a kind of a super brand. So for example, Accor recently announced that they're going to discontinue Etap hotels and collect all of the hotels of Etap under the Ibis brand and start to create 3 extensions of Ibis, 3 different kinds of brands. So you'll see a lot of changes like that. Some consolidation, some deletion of brands, and some repositioning of brands with a bigger umbrella with maybe 1 or 2 or 3 extensions.